Roath Park was a pleasant area of trees and grass with a small brook flowing through it. Tea Draw Road was obviously the home of a number of well-to-do people and families. The houses were detached, set in well-kept gardens. He located the address given in Mitchelson's note, made his way up to the door and rang the bell. Moments later, it opened to reveal a maid, clad in black taffeta and white lace. "Mr. James MacFarlane to see Madam Griffiths," he said, holding out his card. He had already written a single word on the back. Frolics. He hoped that this was enough to snag Madam Griffiths' attention. The maid gave him a suspicious glance, took the card, bobbed a curtsy, and vanished into the shadows of the hall. A minute later, she returned and opened the door further. "Madam Griffiths will see you," she said, sounding a trifle surprised at the idea, and gestured to him to enter. MacFarlane's overriding impression was one of shadows and general stuffiness, as if no curtain or window had been opened for some time. The maid led him into one of the front rooms, where he stood just inside the doorway, waiting for his eyes to become accustomed to the gloom. "Mr. MacFarlane?" a woman's voice said. It sounded educated, with a mere hint of what he had come to recognize as a Welsh accent. He judged its owner to be in her 60s. "Please sit yourself down. You are lucky. It is so rare I choose to receive visitors these days." "I apologize for intruding," he said as he sat down. As his eyes adjusted, he discerned a vaguely human shape in a chair a little way away from him. "Please, the apology should be mine. I live in darkness now, as you can see. The light is not kind to me, but I should not inflict its absence upon you. Can I offer you some tea, and perhaps some bara-breath?" Unsure what bara-breath was, but not wanting to seem rude, MacFarlane said, "That would be lovely, thank you." "I do not believe I know you, Mr. MacFarlane." "That is true," he replied, "and I am left wondering why you agreed to see me at all." "Partly because I received a letter from a slight acquaintance of mine, Mr. Miles Mitchelson, asking me to do so, but mostly because of the word you wrote on the back." She suddenly leaned forward. "What do you know of the anaesthesia frolics, Mr. MacFarlane?" "Not as much as I would like to." "Perhaps that is as it should be," she mused. "Tell me, are you a policeman? A private investigator, perhaps?" "I am a journalist." "Ah." She paused for a moment, obviously considering his response carefully. There was a soft knock at the door, and the maid entered with a tray. She set it down on a small table between MacFarlane and Madam Griffiths. "Would you care to pour, Mary?" The maid poured 2 cups of tea, added milk, and passed one to MacFarlane. As Madam Griffiths reached for her own cup, MacFarlane had to stop himself from reacting when he saw, caught in a pale shaft of light that filtered between the curtains, the woman's hand. Or rather, what was left of it, for the 2 smallest fingers were missing. MacFarlane wondered why she hadn't used her other hand to take the cup. But when his gaze moved across, he had to stifle another gasp. Even in the shadows, he could see that the entire other hand was missing. "I will not tell you anything about the frolics, Mr. MacFarlane," she said. "It is not my place, and Dr. Trethewey will be angry with me for spilling secrets. I do not want to make him angry. I will prevail upon him to send you an invitation. I would, however, advise you not to accept that invitation, and instead to leave Cardiff. I suspect you will not take heed of my advice. You strike me as having a resolute core under your diffident exterior. Now we will talk about that whole unpleasant subject no more. Please, help yourself to some bara-breath. Don't look so worried, it is merely a tea bread made with spices and currants." For the next half hour they talked about Wales and Cardiff, but pointedly not about the anaesthesia frolics. Eventually it became obvious that Madam Griffiths was tiring, so MacFarlane made his excuses to leave. "Mr. MacFarlane," said his hostess as he reached the door, "I will repeat my earlier warning. If an invitation arrives, I implore you to ignore it. Your life may well change if you do not, and not in a way you would like. Thank you for the warning, for your stories, and for the tea and bara-breath," he said, and left.